Hello students, our today's heading is conversion of galvanometer to ammeter and voltmeter. Okay, the meaning is same if we say that we are studying the applications of galvanometer. Okay, so under the applications we study the conversions only. So we have to focus on two things: conversion of galvanometer to ammeter and next conversion of galvanometer to voltmeter. Now let us start this first heading. I told you initially that galvanometer is a device which is used to detect the current. Okay, so a device which is used to detect the current, from that we have to now make a device which is used to measure the current. Okay, so this conversion we have to do. So first of all, how do we use the scale of the galvanometer here, that we need to understand. So suppose this is 0 of the galvanometer, 0, pointer will deflect as the current will flow in the circuit. So we say that suppose the pointer is at 25 deflection. What do we read on the scale of the galvanometer? That is deflection. Okay, this is deflection. But from the deflection we can get the idea of the current. Okay, so we can calibrate the scale in such a manner that we already know that if 25 deflection the pointer is showing, that means how much current was passed through the coil of the galvanometer. In the same manner, if the pointer is showing some other deflection, suppose deflection 20, then we will be already knowing that by passing how much current the deflection comes on 20. So this way the scale of the galvanometer shows the deflection, but knowing the deflection we can always get the current value. So this way a galvanometer which is used to detect the current actually can also be used to measure the current. Okay, by knowing the deflection we can know the current value. Okay, so this way the point is that galvanometer can be converted to ammeter. Now the problem of converting G to A is, there are two problems that we need to discuss first. So that we need some modifications. So the two reasons why the galvanometer cannot be directly used as ammeter, that are, first of all, galvanometer can show deflection only for the currents up to microampere. Okay, that means if in any circuit we have to measure the current, okay, so maximum current which it can bear, which it can tolerate, that is microampere current. If we pass more current than this microampere, then the coil of galvanometer will burn. Okay, so how do we get the ammeter which can measure more currents? Okay, so that's why galvanometer, if we use it as such, then it is failing. Okay, now second point is that galvanometer's resistance is large enough, and if we have to connect the galvanometer to measure the current, it should be connected in series, and because of its large resistance the current reading will change. Okay, so here two problems are there with the galvanometer. Firstly, the current restriction. In the galvanometer coil only the current of microampere maximum can pass. Okay, so what about the more current measurement? Okay, secondly, the galvanometer has a resistance. So if we connect it in the circuit in series, then the total current of the circuit will change. So current reading will come wrong. So we need to do some modifications in galvanometer circuit to make it ammeter. So first of all, we need to understand in detail what are the properties of the ammeter. So in the next sheet we are understanding the properties of the ammeter. Note down all this. So about an ammeter, we know these things, that ammeter measures current And how it is connected in the circuit? It is always connected in series in the circuit, because it has to measure current, total current of the circuit, and total current remains same in series. So total current remains same in the series. And third point is new thing for you. What should be its ideal resistance? Okay, ideal resistance means effectively what should be the resistance of the ammeter apparatus so that the current reading is undisturbed. For that we will understand one circuit. I have taken here one circuit. Suppose 10 volt is the battery and 5 ohm is the resistance in the circuit. Now we have to find out the total current. Total current I formula is, how do we calculate total current? Total volt upon total resistance, that means 10 upon 5. That means 2 ampere is the current flowing in the circuit. Now till now we have not connected ammeter. This is without ammeter circuit. But to measure this current, we need to connect ammeter. So what will be the change if we connect the ammeter? Suppose we have connected an ammeter in series so that we can measure this current. Now ammeter or any apparatus has some resistance. Suppose the resistance of this ammeter is 1 ohm. So now you see that the total resistance in the circuit has changed. Total resistance is now 6. So the total current will become 10 by 6. Voltage upon resistance. So you see, by connecting the ammeter, the total current changed. But actual current of the circuit was 10 by 5, and after connecting the ammeter, we are getting the current 10 by 6. But it should not happen. Okay, ammeter should not disturb the circuit current. So ideally, what should be its resistance? Just think, what should be its resistance? So the answer is that its resistance should be 0. So that's why the answer of the ideal resistance of the ammeter is 0. After understanding these details about the ammeter, now we are proceeding to the conversion circuit. Note down these all details. Okay, so now let us understand the circuit to convert galvanometer to ammeter. See, this is galvanometer, and I told you that we have to do some modifications in the circuit so that it becomes ammeter. So as we have discussed that ammeter has the 0 resistance, but galvanometer has the resistance, some moderate resistance value it is having. So what we can do, how we can reduce its resistance to 0 or effectively 0. So what we can do, we can take help of parallel connection. Suppose if we connect a resistance in parallel, which we call shunt resistance. Okay, shunt resistance. So you already know one thing, that if galvanometer's resistance is Rg and one parallel resistance shunt S is connected to it, then in parallel the combination answer is always smaller. So this way, whatever is the initial resistance of galvanometer, by connecting it with the shunt, that means parallel, its final resistance will become less and less, will decrease, so that it will convert to ammeter. Now what should be the shunt resistance value? Should it be large resistance or should it be small resistance? So in parallel we have studied that the combination answer is less than the least one. If two resistances are connected, then the final answer of parallel combination is less than the least one. So whatever is the galvanometer resistance, if we keep the shunt resistance very, very small, then the answer will also come further smaller. It may not be 0 answer, but almost 0 answer we can get of the resistance. So that's why first problem is solved, that galvanometer's resistance we have decreased to almost 0 by connecting it with the parallel with shunt, a low resistance. So galvanometer connected in parallel with very low shunt resistance. Shunt means parallel only. Okay, low shunt resistance, so that the effective resistance of galvanometer decreases. Okay, that only we wanted, that if we have to make it ammeter, its ideal resistance should be 0. So this whole circuit shunt connected with the galvanometer is called an ammeter. So these three lines means equivalent to ammeter. And second problem of galvanometer is also solved. As we said that galvanometers restriction of the current is only to certain microampere. That means we cannot flow more than microampere current in the galvanometer coil, but now we can flow. If we flow a current of I value, which is in amperes or milliamperes, which is large current, then here the partition, the division of the current will take place. Galvanometer will take its current maximum which it can bear, which its coil can tolerate, which is in microampere. So remaining all current will pass through the low shunt resistance. Okay, so large part of the current will flow here, only small part of the current will flow here. So there is no problem now. So galvanometer's restriction that it can only flow through it microampere current, that is now removed because of connection of the shunt resistance. So now effectively in this circuit we can pass a large current I and we can measure also. Now we should know what are the, means we will be reading the galvanometer's scale. So how by reading the galvanometer scale we can get this current value? What are the interconnections among these datas? So we will be establishing the relation now. Firstly, note down these 2 points. We have solved these 2 problems of galvanometer by connecting shunt resistance. Now for the calculation part, we will be taking the help of parallel connection property. Voltage remains same in parallel. So you can see here for upper branch is this, lower branch is this. Since the voltage of upper branch and lower branch will be same because they are connected in parallel. So voltage same we will make upper branch and lower branch. Let us make voltage formula. So voltage is current into resistance. So in the upper branch current is I minus Ig, resistance is S, and in the lower branch current is Ig, resistance is Rg. Okay. Finally, we can prepare the shunt formula, or you can learn the formula as it is also. So actually this upper formula is of use because any data whichever is missing you can calculate it. Okay, so I minus Ig into S equal to Ig Rg. Now what are the meanings of all the terms? I is that current range which ammeter we have to make. Okay, so this is the range of ammeter. Then Ig is the maximum current which the galvanometer can bear. This we can call full scale deflection current. Other 2 terms you already know. S is the shunt and Rg is the resistance of the galvanometer. Okay, we'll take some practice questions on this topic. Note down this calculation part. Now we have a question from NCERT. Let us understand. Galvanometer coil has resistance 15 ohm. So this is Rg. Okay, galvanometer's resistance is 15 ohm. Then the meter shows full scale deflection for current 4 milliampere. So full scale deflection current is this, that we denote by Ig. It is 4 milliampere. Okay, 4 milliampere. How will you convert this meter into ammeter? So here the discussion is about G to A only. Okay, so G to A we are converting, and it is written that the ammeter's range is 0 to 6 ampere. So as I told you that ammeter's current will always be more than this Ig. So this ammeter's current we have to write I. Okay, so I means range of ammeter. It is 6. Now it is written how will you convert it. So you already know how to convert G to A. So you have to write the answer that we have to connect a shunt resistance in parallel. In parallel with G. But you need to calculate the shunt also. Then only the answer will be completed. So first part is how the connection parallel, and second part is that shunt answer also. So shunt answer formula is IGRG upon I minus IG. Very easy formula to remember. IGRG upon I minus IG. Let us put all the values. So 4 milli. I am keeping milli here only. If needed, I'll put its meaning. Milli is 10 raised to power minus 3. Rg is 15. Then I is 6. And now here it is written Ig, 4 milli. Now I need to convert milli also. So 4 milliampere means 4 into 10 raised to power minus 3 or 0.004. So when I subtract from 6 0.004, I will get 5.996 in the denominator, and in the numerator 15 fours are 60 milli. Okay, now approximately we can solve it. 5.996 is 6 only. 6 cancelled. So the answer is 10 milli. 10 into 10 raised to power minus 3 ohm. Okay, so this is the solution of these type of questions.